class of ISKCON of Silicon Valley. I want to thank all the hosts who are helping us to broadcast this program. Also want to thank to all the devotees who are joining from different parts of the world. Please accept my humble obeisances. So we'll start today's class with a special song written by Srila Lochon Das Thakur. This song is describing the ecstatic dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with all his eternal associates. So I will first give you the brief description about what this song about. So the song says, Nache Shochi Nandano Bhakoto Jibono Dhano Songe Nache Priyo Nityanando Advaita Srinivas Ar Nache Haridas Basu Ghosh Rai Ramananda. Sachinandan, the son of Sachi, is dancing, and he is the life and soul of all the devotees. Along with him, Lord Nityananda is also dancing, who is very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Advaita Srinivas and Haridas Thakur and Basu Ghosh Rai Ramananda all are also accompanying in this dancing festival with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then it says, Nityananda Mukho Heri, Bole Pohu Hori Hori, Premaয় ধরণী গড়ি যায় প্রিয় গদাধর আসি প্রভুর বাম পাশে বসি ঘন নর হরি মুখ চায়. By looking at the face of Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya is saying Hari Hari, or he is shouting Hari Hari, and then he started rolling on the ground with ecstatic love. At that time, Gadadhar Pandit, he came near to him and sat at the left side, and he was looking very frequently at the face of Narahari Sarkar. So you can see that, here in the description also, the tattva is so nicely described. If you see the Panchatattva, Gadadhar Pandit is always at the left side, and Lord Nityananda is always at the right side of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they are nicely also Shakti Tattva and the Vishnu Tattva. Yeah, anyways. Pohu nahi mele akhi kahe mor kaha shokhi kaha pabo rai darshan কাহা কাহা কহ কহ নরহরি আর সম্বরিতে নারী ইহা বলি ভেলো অচেতন. Lord Chaitanya was not opening his eyes because he was in ecstasy, and he was crying and shouting, where I can get the vision of Srimati Radharani. Oh, my eternal associates, please tell me, where is she? Oh Narahari, I cannot actually tolerate this pain anymore. And then after saying that, he went into a trance. He became senseless. এখনই আছিনু হেতা কেমরে আনিলো এথা রসরাশে নিকুঞ্জ ভবন গেল সুখ সম্পদ এবে ভেলো বিপদ বিষাদয়ে এদাস লোচন. Lochon Das is exclaiming, I was there just now, but who actually brought me here? From my, this existence. I was in the Rasa Nikunjo, I was experiencing the mellow of Rasa dance in the dense forest. My all happiness, all bliss, Galo Shuku Shampado, the property of happiness has gone away. Now I am experiencing, all kinds of calamities, bipad, and I am feeling morose. And Lochon Das is exclaiming all these things. So this is a very small song. We can sing this song. I don't know how you'll sing, but I will sing from my side. Nache Shoti Nandano Bhakoto Jibono Dhano নাচে সতী নন্দন ভকত জীবন ধন সঙ্গে নাচে প্রিয় নিত্যানন্দ নাচে সতী নন্দন ভকত জীবন ধন সঙ্গে নাচে প্রিয় নিত্যানন্দ অদ্বৈত Srinivas Arnath Haridas অদ্বৈত শ্রীনিবাস হরনাথ হরিদাস বাসু ঘোষ রায় রামানন্দ মরে মরে বাসু ঘোষ রায় রামানন্দ নাচে সতী নন্দন ভকত জীবন ধন সঙ্গে নাচে প্রিয় নিত্যানন্দ অদ্বৈত শ্রীনিবাস হরনাথ হরিদাস বাসু ঘোষ রায় রামানন্দ মরে মরে বাসু ঘোষ রায় রামানন্দ নিত্যানন্দ মুখ হেরি বলে প্রভু হরি হরি নিত্যানন্দ মুখ হেরি বলে প্রভু হরি হরি প্রেমায় ধরণী গরি যায় মরে মরে প্রেমায় ধরণী গরি যায় প্রিয় গদাধর আসি প্রভুর বাম পাশে বসি প্রিয় গদাধর আসি প্রভুর বাম পাশে বসি ঘন নর হরি মুখ চায় মরে মরে ঘন নর হরি মুখ চায় কহু নাহি মেলে আঁকে কহে মোর কাহা সখী কাহা পাব রাই দর্শন কহু নাহি মেলে আঁকে কহে মোর কাহা সখী কাহা পাব রাই দর্শন আরে কহ কহ নর হরে আর সম্বরিতে নারী কহ কহ নর হরে আর সম্বরিতে নারী ইহা বলিবে লয় চেতন ইহা বলিবে লয় চেতন এখনই আছিনু হেথা কে মরে নিল এথা এখনই আছিনু হেথা কে মরে নিল এথা রাস রস নিকুঞ্জ ভবন মরে মরে রাস রস নিকুঞ্জ ভবন জ্ঞান সুখ সম্পদ কেবে ভেল বিপদ জ্ঞান সুখ সম্পদ কেবে ভেল বিপদ বিষাদয়ে দাসলোচন মরে মরে বিষাদয়ে দাসলোচন নাচে সতী নন্দন ভকত জীবন ধন নাচে সতী নন্দন ভকত জীবন ধন সঙ্গে নাচে প্রিয় নিত্যানন্দ অদ্বৈত শ্রীনিবাস হরনাথ হরিদাস অদ্বৈত শ্রীনিবাস হরনাথ হরিদাস বাসু ঘোষ রায় রামানন্দ মরে মরে বাসু ঘোষ রায় রামানন্দ মরে মরে বাসু ঘোষ রায় রামানন্দ বাসু ঘোষ রায় রামানন্দ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে নিতাই গৌর সীতানাথ প্রেমানন্দে হরি হরি বল। Thank you. I think I can stop sharing now. Hare Krishna. So before I start, can we do the Mangalashan prayer and then we can start our today's topic? Then to put on, or I can do it myself also.
We'll put it on.
Oh, your voice is very low for me. I'm not sure if it is only for me.
Is it? It is very low. Okay, if it is, then I can use my headphone. Hold on.
When you started the kirtan, it was very good.
Yeah,
Towards the end, it went down.
yeah. That is true. Koladvip Prabhu, this is Ashram Madhav Das. I think Kautik Karna Prabhu is saying the same thing. Let me put on the headphone so that this issue will go.
Prabhu, we cannot hear you.
Okay, hold on.
Now we can hear you. Yes.
You can hear me now?
Yes,
It's
Prabhu.
better? Okay, thank you. So we can start with the Mangalacharan prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayang Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitham Tam Sajivam Swadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitam Sha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंध जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्किपात्तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारणं यत्किपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यत्किपात्तमहं वन्दे श्रीचैतन्यवीश्वरम् आराध्य भगवान् व्रजेशतनयं तद्धाम वृन्दावनं रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजबुधवर्गेण य कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेम्णा पुमर्थमहान् Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhumatamitam Tadradharana Paraha. Hare Krishna. So you know that we are observing World Holy Name Week, International Holy Name Week. So today we want to actually discuss about the glories of Haridas Thakur, who is the emblem of Harinam, or you can say that he is the Acharya of Harinam, who is given the title by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So we'll discuss something about his glories, even though I am not at all qualified because Haridas Thakur is the topmost Mahabhagavat Vaishnava and his glories are unlimited. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Vrindavan Das Thakur, they describe his glories very nicely in Chaitanya Bhagavat, in Chaitanya Chaitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat respectively. But still they ex, express that it's not enough to glorify Haridas Thakur, because his glories, his activities, his pastimes, his leelas are unlimited, and they can be glorified just like Lord can be glorified um, unlimitedly, uh, continuously by the devotees. Similarly, Lord's pure devotees are also glorified in that same manner. So, but still, we want to actually remember some of his qualities. I know many of you devotees are already very much familiar with these pastimes, but we'll revisit those things and reaffirm our understanding of glories of Harinam through the Acharya of Harinam, who is Haridas Thakur himself. So I want to actually pay my obeisances to Haridas Thakur first, so that he helps me to glorify him in whatever manner I can. And also I ask blessings for all the senior Vaishnavas and all the Vaishnavas who are present here to bless me, so that I can talk something in line with the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Hare Krishna. Okay, so first Haridas Thakur Namacharya. So yeah, in Sanskrit maybe it is said Namacharya, but in Bengali we say Namacharya. So the Acharya name is given to the devotees who follow the injunctions of the Supreme Lord based on the instructions given by the Supreme Lord or his devotees, and also distribute that same instructions to others. So first is that he is implementing that instructions in his own life, and the next phase is he's distributing. So first is Achar, and then is Prachar. So when Sanatan Goswami was visiting, we'll start the conversation from here. Maybe then we can expand it from there. When Sanatan Goswami was visiting Shri Purushottam Khetra Jagannath Puri Dham to meet Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it comes in Antalila chapter 4, I guess. He was staying with Haridas Thakur. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, by born, they were very high level Brahman, Bharadwaj Gotriya Brahman. But still, as they served Muslim king, they had a very close association with the Yavana kings. They were kind of like considered outcast in the society. Also, they themselves also, because of their ultimate humility, they used to consider themselves also very low, wretched. So whenever they visited Jagannath Puri Dham, they used to stay with Haridas Thakur. And as you know, that Haridas Thakur was born in a Yavana family, Mletsha family. So Yavana, by definition, are those who are actually envious to cows and Brahmanas. Go, Brahman, envy. Hingsha kore jara. Those who are envious to go and Brahmana. Lord Chaitanya was defining Yavana in that way. And it's not that in Kali Yuga only there are Yavanas. If you see Dapur Yuga, Lord Krishna left his war with the Kali Yavana, right? He was also a Yavana. He was also envious to Brahmanas and cows. So yeah. Anyway, so to come to the topic, so he was not eligible to enter into the Jagannath Puri temple. Even his shadow, by crossing his shadow, the so-called Smarta Brahmins, they would have taken bath. Even if they would have seen him on the street or crossed his shadow. So that's why Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, whenever they visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri Dham, they always stayed in the same heart as Haridas Thakur. And they used to pay obeisances to Jagannath Puri temple by looking at the Sudarshan, the chakra, which is also hoisting the flag uh, of the temple. So yeah, they used to get the same benefit of taking darshan of the Supreme Lord inside the temple by doing so. So when Sanatana Goswami visiting, Lord, he had some kind of skin disease. There was pools was oozing from his body, and it was making bad smell, bad odor. But Lord Chaitanya was embracing him very strongly. So Haridas, he shared his this pastime with Haridas Thakur, and he was telling that how I can actually get rid of this situation. Haridas Thakur was telling, no, you are actually such an exalted Vaishnava. So Lord Chaitanya is actually feeling good that he's doing that to you. And Sanatan Goswami, in reply to this, he was telling that no, you are actually original Acharya of the society. And how come you are Acharya of the society? Because then he quoted these verses. It comes in Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Chaitanya Charitamrita that Achar Korea Keho Nakore Prochar, Prochar Korea Keho Nakore Achar, Achar Prochar Namer Korodui Karjo, Tumi Sarvaguru, Tumi Jagoter Arjo. Some people, they do the achar, they conduct or they follow the scriptures in their own life, but they don't preach or they don't distribute this knowledge to others. And some people, they distribute this knowledge, but they don't practice that thing in their own lives. But you, your grace, your holiness, you practice this in your life and also teach other, distribute other the same holiness. So you are the Sarva Guru, the spiritual master of the whole society. And Arjo means you are the topmost teacher. Arjo is actually also teacher. Vattacharjo, Acharjo, these are also teacher. So he was giving that thing. And now why we actually take the words of Sanatan Goswami so authentic? So there is another pastime to support his statement. So when like in the later part of this pastime, when Sanatan Goswami told that I will go to Vrindavan because I am committing so much aparadh, he told to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he told, like, who gave you that idea that you have to go to Vrindavan? You are going to you have to go to you are doing aparadh, committing offenses. So Sanatan Goswami told that actually Jagadananda Pandit told me that I am committing. You better go to Vrindavan because you are also yes, you are committing offenses. Then Lord Chaitanya was a little bit angry and he told, like, who is Jagadananda Pandit? You are the most topmost scholar of the society, of world. And you can be the guru of even Jagadananda Pandit. You are guru of the whole society. So you can see that, Sanatan Goswami was so highly regarded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when he says something, that is actually authentic. So that also, like gives us an impression about the position of Haridas Thakur through this small anecdote, a small pastime. Now, when I just told you that, that Haridas Thakur is an Acharya who demonstrates the glories of the holy name by his own acharan, own actions, own behaviors. So we can actually go through some of the pastimes of Haridas Thakur and see how he glorified Sri Harinam Prabhu, Sri Harinam Bhagavan by his own activities. So Haridas Thakur, as I mentioned before, also that he was born in the actually Jessore district, which belong to Bangladesh right now, in the border area of India and Bangladesh, West Bengal, Jessore, near Benapol. At that time, that place was known as Budhan. Budhan is a village name which comes in the Benapol area. So some people say, some acharyas also say that he was born as a Brahmin in a Brahmin family, but later on his family was forcefully converted to Muslim Yavanas. Some acharyas also say no, he was actually born in a Muslim family from the very beginning. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why it doesn't matter? Because we know the person who actually has taken the shelter of the holy name, who surrendered himself fully to the shelter of the holy name, his everything is purified. He has done all the activities which are being done by the brahmanas, all the high class Aryan society people. And this is quoted by Devahuti in the conversation with Kopil Dev, where actually he said, Yannamadev Shobhananu Kirtanat Yah Pranat Sabanaya Kalpate Pranat Saranapi Kachit Sado Api hi Savanaya Kalpate Kuto Punasto hi Bhagavan Adarshanat. So he is telling that the remembrance of someone's name, whose name, or by associating the devotees who are under the shelter of that person, somebody, even
born in a Chandala family, outcast family, out of the Vedic society, or very wretched condition. Those are dog eaters. In English, it is translated as dog eaters. If he has taken birth in that, he immediately gets purified. What to say about someone who has taken personal darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has seen Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face? In the next verse, she is telling, it's not coming in my mind. Can somebody recall me?
Aho Batsha Bache.
Aho vacha sapacha hota gariyan yad jivage vartate namustubyam tepus tapuste juhubu shashnurarya brahmana chirunam ginante yati. Thank you, Kotukaranava Prabhu. So he's telling that person, Aho Bato, Shapacha hota gariyan, even he is born in a Shapacha, Chandal society, as soon as he has actually taken the shelter of the holy name, he has performed all kinds of pious activities, which are performed by the high class people of the Vedic society. So, in that way, as soon as Haridas Thakur took the shelter of holy name, he immediately got purified, even though, whatever his background. Now, like, actually, he is a eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's always purified. But to teach the whole society, he's showing these pastimes that if you take okay, I will tell you. Yeah, I will tell you next time whenever I want to share something. So he is showing that that if even you are born in a very low conditioned life, low conditioned society, or your birth is not noble, still if you take shelter of the holy name, all the shortcomings you have, all the so-called situation, negative situation you have, they will be dissipated immediately, and you will attain higher perfection, higher position by dint of the mercy of the holy name. So this is one teachings, that doesn't matter where you are actually born, what condition you were born. As soon as you are introduced to holy name, as you are chanting the name of holy Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and you are trying to dedicate yourself or surrender yourself in the process, you will automatically get purified and you will attain the highest perfection, which is the love of God. Okay, the next, and in this regard, I will give another anecdote. I think that this is very, very relevant in this regard. So when after some time, Haridas Thakur, once he was visiting to Fulia, Shantipur area where Aditya Acharya was living. So this is actually in the middle part of his life. So first he actually spent some time his local village, and he had some pastimes over there as well. He had he has glorified holy name while dealing with other peoples over there. If we have some time, we can actually discuss this at the end of the class, but this is very important. So when he visited Shantipur, he had a very close association with Aditya Acharya. Aditya Acharya was very, dejected at that point of time, because in Navadvip or Shantipur area, people are very Mayavadi, and they are very, they were so-called erudite scholars, but they didn't have bhakti, devotion for the Lord. But when he got the association of Haridas Thakur, he was very happy, and he was spending time with him, day and night. And Haridas built a hut near the Ganges in the Fulia village, and he used to visit Aditya Acharya on a regular basis. Now Aditya Acharya is a very high class Brahmin by birth, very, very top class Brahmin. That's why his name is also Acharya. Only Brahmanas who are they can take the position of an Acharya. Especially at that time, it was very strict. So when Haridas Thakur used to visit him, he used to give him very high seat. Usually the people who are out of the Vedic society, they are not invited in the Brahminical society. What to speak about giving high seat inside the home? I used to give it. But Haridas was very, humble, very meek. So he used to tell, Prabhu, you are giving me such a high position. I'm not worthy of it. And it is kind of, against the social norm. You cannot actually do this because the people will be disturbed. The Brahmin society, they will be disturbed. So then Advaita Acharya, he made a very nice statement to give, the position of, or make it clear the position of Haridas Thakur. He said, আচার্য কহেন তুমি না করিহ ভয় সেই আচরিব যেই শাস্ত্র মতো হয় Don't worry, Haridas. I will act exactly according to the Shastras. Whatever Shastra says, I will do exactly that. Then he gave him the, the Shraddha Patra. When you do the offering to your forefathers, then after that offering, you give the Shraddha Patra to a very eligible high class Brahmin, or who is very, very top class person present in the group. So he gave that patra, that Shraddha Patra, to Haridas Thakur. And he said, and when he actually given that patra to Haridas Thakur, all the Brahmanas, all the people who are invited for that program, they immediately left. They felt, very offended that how can he ignore us? We are very high class Brahmanas, and gave it to some Yavanas, outcasts. Then Haridas was also afraid. Then he didn't want to actually take it. He's telling, it will be opera to Brahmanas in lotus feet. Radhitacharya says, no, তুমি খাইলে হয় কোটি ব্রাহ্মণ ও ভজন এত বলি সাধ্য পাত্র করাইলো ভোজন. He is telling, if you eat, that will feed 10 millions of Brahmins. So don't worry, you eat it, and then everything will be fulfilled. And then later part of the pastime, it says that, those Brahmanas who left that arena, they could not take any meal that day. They could not take any prasad. They could not even ignite fire. And then they, came back to Aditya Acharya's home and then asked for forgiveness to him, and asked for forgiveness to Haridas Thakur also. So because they realized that, they offended a very high level personality. So this is another pastime, that even though he was born in that life, that kind of family background, but through his acharan, through his actions, through his behavior, he attained the topmost position in the Vaishnava society and Vedic society as well. Okay, now another, some of the pastimes which glorifies Horinam, the chanting of the Horinam, and which is, very much displayed in the by the actions of Haridas Thakur, or in the actions of Haridas Thakur. So first, the pastimes of, that the prostitute who came to allure Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was living in Buron Gram. That place, there was a Kayasto, Jamindar, landlord. His name was Ramchandra Khan. So he was very disturbed by the popularity of Haridas Thakur. Everyone was amazed by the effulgence, by the power of, Haridas Thakur. He's so he's externally also very beautiful, effulgent personality, and because of his chanting of holy name, everybody was so mesmerized, very touched, that they used to glorify him day and night everywhere. That envious Ramchandra Khan, he was very disturbed by that, and then he took shelter of, few prostitutes. He told, if you can degrade him, derail him from his sadhana, that will be my victory. I can tell people that no, actually what you were thinking, it's not true. Actually, Haridas is a wretched soul. He's also very, he's like any other, debauchee. So among the prostitutes, Lakkohira was one of the prostitute, and she was very beautiful, and she was young. So she told, okay, it will take me 3 nights to convince him, or make him fall down. So wait, just give me 3 nights. So Lakkohira, so Ramchandra Khan, he wanted to actually give some persons with her, but she told, no, first night I will go alone, and then when you want to catch him red-handed later, I will take some, some of your servants with me. So she went there, and she stayed in front of Haridas, went in front of the Haridas Thakur's kutir, his hut, and then he exposed herself and told, Thakur, you are so beautiful, you are so young, you're very attractive, so that's why I want to associate with you very closely. Yeah, so she told that. Now Haridas Thakur, he was so merciful. He told, okay, yeah, I will, fulfill all of your desires. Just stay there for some time. I have to finish my rounds. They used to chant Koti Nam, 10 million names every month. So like 3,33,000, names of Lord every single day. So he had that, vow. So he used to do it. So he was telling her that, okay, wait, let me finish the chanting and then I will fulfill all of your desires. She said, okay, I will wait. And he kept on chanting, 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 chanting. The night was over. The sun appeared, sun rose on the sky. And she told, okay, it is not possible today. So she bade goodbye to him and left that place. And Haridas Thakur was telling, oh, please forgive me. Today it was not possible. So yeah, if you come tomorrow, I will try to fulfill your desires. Lakayira thought, okay, next day I will come. Next day again she came. Haridas Thakur again was chanting. He told, okay, please wait and let me finish my chants rounds, and then we can actually again have an intimate association. Now, again that same thing happened. She felt sleepy, but by the mercy of Haridas Thakur, she was listening Harinam Mahamantra. And when you listen something for a long period of time, in subconscious mind also you will start chanting. So she has started, chanting to some extent in subconscious mind. And also, of course, the influence of Mahabhagavata was also there. Then that day was also over. Sun again, appeared, and then Haridas Thakur again, asked for forgiveness. Then Lakohira was promised that he will fulfill her desire next day. Lakohira again came next day, third day. Again, same thing is happening. Haridas Thakur is chanting, Lakohira is listening. But this time she felt a transformation in her heart. She felt like something is making her cry, making her surrender unto the lotus feet of Haridas Thakur. And she suddenly told, like, I am very wretched soul. I came here to vitiate you, pollute you on the order of Ramchandra Khan, but now I surrender myself to you because my heart, I don't know why it gets melted, and I want to actually keep these emotions, feelings in my heart for a long period of time. So you can see that this power of pure holy name, chanting of pure holy name is so powerful. That person, that Lakkuhira, she had committed so many sins in her life. First of all, she committed sins. That's why she got that body, and become a prostitute. And then she, in that body also, she kept committing sins. But by association of Sri Haridas Thakur, she started experiencing the pure love of Godhead, let alone cleansing of sins. It's just she started experiencing pure love of Godhead. Then Haridas Thakur instructed her, okay, I knew that you came on the order of Ramchandra Khan, but I was supposed to actually leave the day you came here. I was supposed to leave that same day, but I wanted to deliver you. That's why I stayed here. So now take my instructions, go to your home, leave or give everything to the Brahmanas. Don't keep anything, any possession. Take very, simple cloths. Take Vaishnava attire. Serve Tulsi Maharani and chant in front of her every single day. And she started chanting the holy name in front of Tulsi Maharani every day, 300,000 names. That means 192 rounds, kind of. So by that thing, that she actually shaved her head and became like Parama Vaishnavi, like very powerful Vaishnavi in her later life, and everybody was mesmerized by the prowess of Haridas Thakur's spiritual activities. Like how powerful he is. How can he actually transform such a wretched soul to a pure Vaishnava? So that is one important thing, is that even though that Lakkohira, she had an intention to commit sinful activities by polluting Haridas Thakur, but he did not disappreciate that he is chanting. He did not even actually, like, maybe in her mind there was something, some desire was there, but that did not disturb Haridas Thakur's sadhana, his service to the Supreme Lord and holy name. Rather, it inspired him to deliver her. Inspired Haridas Thakur to deliver Lakshahira. So if we are actually, we don't commit offices to the Mahabhagavatas, if we become offenseless and take shelter unto him, even if we just associate with them unknowingly, we don't have that surrender mentality initially. But even if we associate with an open mind, our heart will get transformed, and holy name can show his magic, and the magic of transformation in the heart. Because magic of external, transformation, that's very easy. It's easy. When you leave your body, you will definitely get a new body. Definitely, you will get a different body. So that transformation is easy, but transformation of heart, where Krishna is residing as a super soul, that is very difficult. That only comes by mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his pure devotees, especially those who are surrendered in to the holy name, to the lotus feet of holy name. So that thing, she did not commit any direct offense to Haridas Thakur, even though she had a desire, that she was very respectful. She followed his instructions. She did not, Lord, what you are doing? I'm waiting for 2 days, and you are still, making me wait. No, she did not do. She respected his acharan, his sadhana, and by that she got mercy. But there is another person. These are all about Haridas Thakur's pastimes. All are related to holy name. So that is another beautiful aspect. When I was reading them from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Chaitamrita, or from like different essays, or listening the lectures, I found like everything is related to holy name. I don't know whether it is on purpose or it is like maybe his life is like the present representation of holy name also. Personification, how one can get perfected by chanting the holy name. Maybe that way. Or acharyas, they can easily connect everything with him with respect to holy name. Anyway, so one time, one Brahman, when Haridas Thakur was visiting Saptagram is in the place of Hugli, where Raghunath Das Goswami was born, to Hiranyagarbha and and Govardhan Majumdar. His father and uncle's name was Hiranya Majumdar and Govardhan Majumdar. So he was visiting his place, Raghunath Das Goswami's place. Raghunath Das Goswami was a small boy at that time. And their priest was Balaram Chakravarti, very nice Vaishnava Brahmin priest. And he was very respectful towards Haridas Thakur. He could understand that this is a very powerful personality. But there was another person called Gopal Chakravarti. He was a very beautiful, and a handsome person. He was very scholar in logics also. And he was acting as a tax collector on behalf of that local king. He was collecting taxes. So one time, Haridas was giving, the glorification of Harinam. And he was telling, even person who is chanting in Abhash stage, Namabhash, like insinuation, not like, on purpose. He's you can say accidentally he's chanting name of Lord. He will get liberation, mokko, mukti. So that Balaram Chakravarti, Gopal Chakravarti, he was very scholarly person. He knew Shastra. So he told, no, I cannot accept it. Even Brahma, who is very knowledgeable, he doesn't get easily liberation. The Shastra says he doesn't get, right? Brahma is a position, he's the topmost living entities, but he doesn't get living liberation so easily. Then how can by somebody he and she just chanting the holy name accidentally, Avash, can actually get deliverance? Then Haridas Thakur was telling, no, this is the verdict of the Shastra. The Shastra says that, if you Sankete Parihasya, that stoko, that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam comes that, even somebody by hint, by accident, by mockingly chant the name of holy, they name of Hare Krishna Mahamantra or Krishna, they will get benefit, full benefit, of chanting in Avash stage, and they can get deliverance also, liberation also in that way. So when he heard it, he couldn't take it. So he challenged him that, oh, no, I don't believe it. Maybe you are making up something. I don't believe it. Then Haridas Thakur said that, okay, if my statement is not true, then in 3 days, my nose will fall. Because nose fall mean, in the culture, in Vedic culture, it is very grave. Means like if somebody is Shurpanakha's nose was cut by Lakshmana, and she felt very offended because it was kind of symptom of pride that your nose is sharp. And Balaram Chakravarti's nose was definitely sharp because he was very handsome. So it was okay. Your nose will fall. Haridas Thakur's nose will fall. He was telling that if it doesn't, it is not true. But by will of Krishna, by will of providence, that Balaram Chakravarti he developed leprosy in 3 days, and his all limbs got withered, and his limbs were getting uh, 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 like going away, or uh, uh, what is that falling down from its place, like first his fingers, then his ears, and then his nose. So people are amazed that this is definitely the magic of Haridas Thakur, because he told Gopal Chakravarti told that Haridas's nose will fall, but Harinam, he could not tolerate it. He showed that action, the same action to Gopal Chakravarti immediately. So it is said in this regard, Chaitanya Charitamrita was quoting that Krishna, sorry, the devotee of Krishna, they are very tolerant. They're very tolerant. Hmm. They can forgive any offense, very offense. If you just fold your hand, Prabhu, please forgive me, Maharaj, please forgive me, they will forgive, because their heart is like a child. Like if you commit any if you shout at a child and then pat him, or give him some prasadam, he will be happy. You will not keep it in mind that, oh, he chastised me. But if I am chastised, I will keep it in mind. That person, he behaved me on that day, on that time, in that occasion. Because I have that, self-ego very strongly developed. For the small children, it's not that developed. So they don't get offended. So Vaishnava's heart is like that, right? That in Bhagavatam, that verse comes where Bhagavan Kapil, he speaks to Devahati Mata that Titikshaiva Karunika Surida Sarvadehinam Ajata Shatruva Shantva Sadva Sadhubhushanam. Like he is persevere, Titikshaiva Karunika, he is very compassionate to all the souls. Surida Sarvadehan is friend to all living entities. Ajata Shatru, he doesn't have any enemy. No enemy is born. Shanta, he is very peaceful, and Shadva, he has all saintly qualities. These are the symptoms of a pure devotee. So Haridas Thakur had all these things. We can actually go part by part if you want, also through his pastimes. But here the main point is he did not take any offense. But Krishna is not like so merciful. If you commit offense to any Vaishnava, even though he internally is not taking any offense, because Vaishnavas are very, very friendly, they are very merciful. But Krishna is not. Krishna cannot tolerate it. So Krishna gave him his reciprocation, that whatever offenses he committed to the lotus feet of Haridas Thakur, immediately he was given the reaction. Okay, so this is one pastime where he actually glorified the holy name, and showed that whatever activities you are doing, fruitive activities or whatever you are doing, you can get beyond that things by chanting, even in accidentally, Helan. So to prove that Haridas Thakur is the ultimate knower of the glories of holy name of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya asked him few questions to show the world that, oh, this, you see that he knows the answer of all the questions, all the deep questions, complicated questions about holy name. So he asked one time in conversation with Haridas Thakur, he's telling, those people who are envious to cow and brahmanas, the yavanas, how they will be delivered? Haridas, please tell me, please tell how they will be delivered. The Haridas Thakur is telling that, Lord, you know it, but still I will tell you. You know that these yavanas, they are chanting haram. Haram means something prohibited, something forbidden. You cannot actually. So if something halal means you can take it, it's acceptable. Haram means opposite, it's not acceptable. So they are chanting it haram, haram, haram. And then he expanded this haram. He said, haram can be taken as a ha-ram. Ha means like, you are exclaiming, you are telling, oh, ha-ram, oh, beautiful Ram. It can be explained in that way. He was also telling, he was actually in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, then the verse of was quoted about that, this Ajamil famous verse that Miyomanam Haren Nama Grinan Putru Upucharitam Ajamil Yagadham Kimut Shraddhaginan. That, Ajamil, he chanted just thinking about his son Narayan at the time of his death. But still he was delivered from all kinds of, bondage. So the person who is chanting sincerely with full faith, what we speak about them, what kind of deliverance they will get. So similarly, those persons who are not chanting with full faith, but they're chanting somehow in the name of Lord, they get delivered. They get delivered unless they commit offense to the pure Guru Vaishnavas. Yeah. So he's telling that. The next question is actually more difficult, because at least these people can talk, right? The next question Lord Chaitanya asks to Haridasa Thakur, what about that, the Sthavara Jangama, the trees, the mountains, the earth, the places like that. Then Haridasa Thakur is telling that you already actually appeared to deliver them. You already appeared, because Basudev goes, if you know the pastime, Basudev goes told, Lord, I want to take all the sins of this, all the living entities of this planet, so that they can go to Vaikuntha Loka, and I can suffer on behalf of them. So it was Haridas Thakur was recalling that past time, and he was telling, you already delivered them on the account of Basudev Ghosh, because when Basudev Ghosh told this thing, Lord Chaitanya told, no, you don't have to suffer for them. You don't have to. I can deliver them. I can zero out their sins. It's not a matter. It's not a big deal. I will take care of it. You don't have to suffer. And I think Srila Prabhupada in this past time he quoted that actually by this action, Vasudev Ghosh actually showed more magnanimity than Lord Jesus Christ, because Lord Jesus Christ told that, no, I will suffer for you those who are following me. As Vasudev Ghosh said, irrespective of following him or Lord Krishna, he will take all people's sins. So anyways, he was recalling that, and he told another thing, the Lord, you were actually passing through Jharkhand forest. So by loudly chanting the holy name of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you made there those, these animals, the trees, the Latagulmas to dance along with you. They were also ecstatically jumping with you. And he also told that when we chant loudly, sometimes we feel, that reflection, right? Reflective sound, right? Patidhwani, what it is called, I don't know. Reflective sound. So that reflexive sound is actually the sound or chanting of the mountains, or the places like trees. They are chanting. They are coming back to you in that way.
Echo, Prabhu. Echo.
Yeah, echo. Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So that echo is actually the chanting of those trees and the earths. So that's how they will get delivered. So that's why we have to chant loudly, right? We cannot chant like very silently. So another thing I want to add here, important thing, Haridas Thakur used to chant at least 3 lakhs of name. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it also says 3,33,000 because he had a vow of 1 koti nam, 10 million holy names. So in 300,000 names, he used to chant in 3 different ways. If you know that, there are 3 different ways you can chant holy name. First is Bachik, second is Upamsa, third is Manasik. Sorry, Bachik, Manasik, Upamsa. So Bachik is like, you chant the holy name in a very distinct voice and, an audible level, audible sound level. That is Bachik. Then Upamsa is you chant in your inner tongue. You can chant it, right? Some vibration will be there in your inner tongue. And the third level is you chant in your mind, which is very high actually, because it's Smaranam Vyavastha. So Haridas Thakur used to divide these 3 levels and he used to chant 1 lakh names in Bachik, 1 lakh in Upamsa, and 1 lakh in Manasik, mind, then in his inner tongue, and in sound vibration. But you know that Lord Chaitanya used to chant very loudly. Excuse me. The Sankirtan movement is all about loud chanting. So he embodied, or he performed the pastimes of loud chanting whenever he demonstrated or he wanted to teach someone. So when Lakshahira was there, he was chanting loudly, so that that sound goes to her mind, or her ear, not mind first initial level. Then another pastime, when Maya Devi came, Maya Devi, the embodiment of the illusory energy, the most topmost beautiful personality in the material energy. Nobody can match her in this universe uh, in beauty. Like, I am not talking of the eternal associates of Lord Krishna; they are beyond that. But the Lakshmi and Gopis or Srimati Radharani, they are different group. But in the material energy, she is the most beautiful. So she came and she directly associated with him, and then she listened also, that Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra from him. And then she wanted to allure him or test him, but she got initiated by Haridas Thakur. That is another thing. Haridas Thakur is initiating Mother Durga also, the embodiment of the illusory energy. And Mother Durga is telling that, okay, I got Ram from my husband Shiva, because he is the devotee of Lord Ram. But I got now Krishna Nam from you. I know from Ram Nam people get deliverance. Hmm. But from Krishna Nam, I know that people get pure love of God. So I am so fortunate that you gave me the Krishna Nam today. So you can understand that, how she is the spiritual master of the whole world, because she initiated also Maya Devi, who is the controller of the material energy. So this is one, another pastime where Haridas Thakur, while he did preaching, especially with Nityananda Prabhu, he did used to go to different places and loudly chant. So this is another thing we have to take in heart, because at our stage it is very difficult. Actually, it's impossible to chant in other level, upamsa or manasik. I can say for myself that when I try to chant my mantras, those which are not chanted loudly, I cannot actually keep my mind very focused all the time. Sometimes I do, sometimes most of the times I can't do. So if I try to do the same thing with Hare Krishna Mahamantra, definitely my mind will waver. But if I try to listen Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even though my mind may not be full focused, but at least most of my senses are engaged. My tongue is engaged, my ears are engaged, and to some extent my the sound vibration is actually flowing through my whole body also, right? Because when you're chanting loudly, that will actually flow through your body, at least you can experience. And if you actually cover one of your ear, you can see that that sound is reverberating in your head also. So that thing, for our neophyte stage, we should actually, that's why, chant very loudly. We should not actually imitate the Mahabhagavatas, who are, in their, it is said by Lord Chaitanya that ki shapone, ki jagarone, ki shayone, ki shapone, ki ba jagarone, ahor nishi chintu Krishna boloho badane. So how can you actually chant name of Lord Krishna in your sleep? He's telling that ki shayone, ki shapone, ki ba jagarone. When you are actually awake, when you are actually in deep sleep, or when you are dreaming, or when you are doing other activities, do like all the time chant the name of Krishna, Hare Krishna. But how can we can actually do the same thing in our dream? We cannot. At this point, at least we cannot actually chant the name of Lord in our dream. But this is possible for those who are Mahabhagavatas, because they are automatically tuned with the superior energy, and so they can actually connect at any stage. They are in samadhi and trance. So that is possible. That kind of 100,000 names, can you imagine, like 100,000 names in chanting someone in mind? It's like yeah, anyways, I cannot even think of that level. Even maybe 100 names chanting will be very difficult or impossible. So it's not recommended. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada explicitly said that those who are actually doing the sadhana stage, they should never do nirjan bhajan. They should always loudly chant with other devotees. That's how they will get purified. They should not say, okay, I am that stage, that Rupa Goswami's verse, that Tunde Tandavini Ratim Bitanute Tundavali Labdaye, Karna Kodo Kadambini Ghatayate, Karnar Bude Bhaspriya, Cheta Prangana Sangini Vijayate, Sarvendriyo Kritam, Najana Janita Kriya, Kiyadvir Amrito, Krishnati Varnadva. He is telling, Rupa Goswami is telling, this is also glorification of holy name, that the two syllables Krishna, I don't know what kind of nectar it has, that when I chant this name, I feel like I wish I could have 100,000 tongue. Wish I could have, when it enters into my ear, wish I could have 100,000 of years. And when it enters into my heart through the ears, it actually conquers all the senses. I don't know what kind of nectar the Krishna, the two syllable Krishna has. So that is very high stage. And now if I want to actually mimic that, the devotees, and one time that happened, one time one snake charmer was describing about the pastimes of Kaliya Daha pastime, the subduing of Kaliya by Lord Krishna. He was doing it, and Haridasa Thakur was listening it. As soon as he listened, he went into a trance immediately, because he's a very Mahabhagavat devotee. And then people wanted to take dust from his lotus feet and in this trance stage, because they could understand this is very, very elevated personality. Now that another Brahman was also there, he also started mimicking his behavior. He started rolling and become very stormho, like very stunned, that kind of things, perspiration. But that snake Sharma, he started biting him. And people people are a little bit curious that what's happening, why he's being beaten. Then the snake Sharma explained them that this person is pretending. He's a pretender. He doesn't have that originally coming from his heart. He's just pretending. But Haridas Thakur, his emotions are natural, ecstatic, natural ecstasies, Mahabhav. So he's not pretending anything. He's just naturally awakened in his heart, that kind of bhav. Anyway, so this is another pastime where it shows that when somebody chants so purely, he can go or experience the reciprocation of holy name in every phase of his life, like be he's in association of so-called materialistic people, because the snake charmer was not a pure devotee, but he chanted the glories of Krishna that induced that bhava inside Haridas Thakur. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so another thing I wanted to discuss. So if you analyze that the quintessential verse for a sadhaka who are actually chanting the holy name in Shikshashtaka, that is that Trinadapi Sunicheno Tarurupi Shahishnona Amanena Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari. Right? This is the quintessential verse. So this verse has four things. Trinadapi Shunichana Tarurupi Shahishnona Amanena Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari. Four things. First is you become humble as a blade of grass. Then you become tolerant, more tolerant than a tree. Then you give respect to everyone, and then you chant the name of holy name, chant the name of Krishna. So here you see that this instruction has two do's and two don'ts. That means you don't become puffed up. The business means you become very humble. Don't become puffed up. And then you become very tolerant. You don't say like, oh, I cannot take it, or I cannot. And then other two do's are that you give respect to everyone. That is action, through your action. And then you chant the name of holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is also action. So these are two do's. And now the original mantra was Trinadapi Shunicheno Toru Riva Shahishnuna Amanino Manadeno Kirtanya Sadahari. Now in Sanskrit language, Sanskrit is a very, very expansive language, and it's a beautiful language because it's a Deva Bhasha, it's coming from the spiritual world. So these subtle changes in a word can make a big meaning change in the meaning. So the first verse was Taru Riba Shahishnuna. Taru Riba Shahishnuna means you are equally tolerant than a tree. When you go to a tree, you shout at a tree, you even slap, or broke a branch, or take leaves, fruits. Does it say anything? No, it just tolerates. It just tolerates. So Vaishnavas should be like tolerant than like that. Now, one of the disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur used to publish many journals, many periodicals. Even he used to publish one daily newspaper also, Vaishnava daily newspaper. And after Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he started publishing Harmonist, Sajjana Toshani. Bengali version is Sajjana Toshani, English is Harmonist. So there, one young devotee, I think he was 16 or 16, 17 years old. I forgot his name actually. He became a sannyasi later on. I think maybe Bhaktivedanta Baman Maharaj, he's divine great Bhaktivedanta Baman Maharaj. Anyways, so he wrote this, the Trinadapi Shunichino, Toru Ropi Shahishnuna Amaneno Manateno Kirtanya Sadahari. So it means actually you become humbler than blade of grass. Trinad Opi Shunichino, Toru Ropi Shahishnuna, you become more tolerant than a tree. Now the devotees who are actually in the editing panel, they objected. Guru Maharaj, actually, how can he write something like that? These instructions are coming from Srila Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. We are not supposed to alter any of the words or any of the syllable of these instructions. Then Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur took a look at the phrase, and he contemplated a bit, and he told, no, what he wrote actually it's correct. He wrote absolutely correct thing. And then it was explained, how he is correct. How is correct? That you see that, when you actually take shelter of, or you go to a tree, it gives you reciprocation after you approach him or her. The tree, you go there, then you take, the fruits, or the bridge coming from the tree. It cannot come to you automatically unless you are in the close proximity of the tree. But the Vaishnavas, they're more tolerant, more merciful, more tolerant than the tree. How? They go to people door to door to preach, to teach the lesson of Krishna consciousness, and then they tolerate all the blasphemy. They tolerate all the pains, all the ill words which are inflicted upon them because of these activities. They tolerate everything. So is it not more glorious than the tolerance or the behavior of the trees? It is. So that's why, even though it was a a little bit of syllable change, but it is actually correct, even though there was something. So Haridasa Thakur, in his pastime, in his Leela, he embodied all these instructions. He was considering himself Trinadapi Sunichana. As I spoke a little bit earlier, that to Advaita Thakur, Acharya, he told, okay, I am not eligible, I am very low class, I should not sit here, I cannot take your offering, Shraddha. He was considering him very low, but he was showing all the ecstatic symptoms. Ebang Vrata Sapriya Namakirta, Jatanu Rago, Duta Chitta Uttoi, Hasse Tatharoditi Roti Gayati, Unmada Vinyatyati Loko Vaya. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by the group of sannyasis in Benares, that, hey, why are you chanting like that, madman? Why you are not following the Vedanta philosophy? Because sannyasis, they are supposed to actually study Vedantas. And he told, no, actually my Guru Maharaj told me that I am a fool. So he told me that, just chant the name of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By that you will get all perfections. Ebang Brata Sapriya, Brata means I take this vow by taking vows like this. Ebang Brata Sapriya Nama Kirta, by chanting the Kirtan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nam Kirtan. Jatanu Rago Drutu Chitto Urcha, you will develop the attachment, the taste in the devotional service. Very quickly in your heart, it will arise. Hasya tatha roditi roti gayati unmad vrinyatati lokobaya. You will be completely oblivion to your external consciousness, and you will dance like a madman. You will show all the ecstatic symptoms. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you will cry. Those things, like a madman. Batul. So Haridasa Thakur, he used to do that. He used to chant and people were mesmerized. Hey, that person is so ecstatic, while chanting. All the ecstatic symptoms, Shedo, Pulaka, Kompo, Ashru, this stunning, the perspiration, then oozing of blood sometimes, you know, crying, the water from his eyes. Everything used to manifest profusely in his body, in his external manifestation. So they were very touched. So he showed it. But even though you know actually your status when you are very elevated, but when you are very high, naturally you become also consider yourself very low. You will feel like, I am unable to do any service to the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the pure disposition of a pure devotee. Disposition of a pure devotee, especially those who are following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They have that mood embedded in their heart like naturally. So Haridas Thakur, naturally he was very showing danya, extreme humility. He is doina by seeing his extreme humility. And also, Sanatan Goswami's Lord Chaitanya was telling, no, no, no. You're showing like extreme humility. My heart is actually breaking by that. Hmm. Yeah, my heart is breaking, like breaking through by your humility. Then he tolerated all the punishments, all the things inflicted upon him, all the bad words, even physical punishment. That is, that level of offense through your mind, offense through your words, and offense through your body. The offense through your body is the highest level of offense. And he was, punished in 22 marketplaces by the Yavana king, that Muslim king. I still he did not do anything, or he did not say anything wrong towards those people who were punishing him. He just prayed to Krishna, Krishna, please salvage them, please protect them, please forgive them for their offenses, because he knew that they will be ruined completely from not only this lifetime, many, many, many millions of birth time, maybe time immemorial they will suffer for this kind of offense. But he tolerated it. He forgave them. Actually, more than tolerance, he forgave, their offenses. Amanina manadena. He never said that, no, I am very learned, very. He used to actually, even in Lord Chaitanya's, uh, uh, assembly also, his presence was kind of unseen. Lord Chaitanya always highlighted him everywhere, Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya likes to glorify his devotees. Whenever he gets a chance, he glorifies his devotees. But he was always like, yeah, but he used to give everyone, even he was so he and Sanatan Goswami both actually, they are so humble that they never cross the place of the ocean where the priest of the Jagannath Puri temple used to visit. They used to always also they used to take long detour to reach from one place to another to avoid their close proximity. So these are like extreme humility and extreme level of respect to other living entities. And more of this, there are different level of respect. First is like you are doing respect out of just social etiquette and custom. But when you are really respective someone, you are actually, especially if you want what is it, kalyan, good welfare of that person, you will also try to purify them through your activity, or make them happy, or make them more elevated from their position by your activity, which is called parartha parata. So there is sartha parata, which is selfishness, which we all living entities are doing to by enjoying the material world or the material energy. And then is nishartha parata. Some people are doing so-called material social activities by giving their time, energy, and money, and trying to help other people, at least in the bodily level, so that they are not doing it for their own sake. But Vaishnavas, especially pure Vaishnavas, they are parartha para. They only do their activities to elevate other people's condition, not only in this lifetime, life after lifetime, because in this lifetime that can be changed, the body will be changed, everything will be gone. But if you elevate someone's consciousness, if you connect someone to Krishna, that will remain in their heart, and they will be eternally indebted to you. And Krishna will also see that how much you are compassionate towards the living entities. So he showed that compassion, and respect to other living entities by giving his association. by giving his holy name, by chanting the holy name for other living entities. Because when somebody purifyingly chanting, that remains in the ether, and the whole universe gets purified. And then Kirtaniya Sadahari, definitely that is definitely his whole mood of service, that chant the name of Krishna day and night, 24 hours. Hare Krishna. So I will actually stop here. Well, there are many things we could have discussed, but I think we have some times for questions or reflections or chastisement. I really appreciate if you can rectify or something you can tell, which can help me to understand these topics more clearly. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for the session, bro. I really liked how you explained the 3 lakh names, that they are chanted in 3 different names. 1 lakh in loudly, and 1 lakh in inner tongue, Upasika, I think,
Upamsa.
Upamsa, and the third one was Mansik. So, Prabhu, I have this question regarding Srila Prabhupada. So, Srila Prabhupada, when he started initiating, he would give initiation for 64 rounds. So, I understand that Srila Prabhupada would be chanting 64 rounds, right? Otherwise, he would not initiate 64 rounds for the disciples. So, it's out of my mind how Srila Prabhupada was chanting 64 rounds and translating and traveling. Is it? I mean, how was Prabhupada chanting? Was he using all 3, or was he doing all these in the first way, Vachika way? How do I understand this?
Thank you for bringing up this question, but it's may not be I'm a good person to answer it. But I can answer one thing. Srila Prabhupada, when he took Banaprastha, he left his home and he went to Vrindavan. He actually used to chant 64 rounds at that time. He chanted 64 rounds for continuously 9 years. Now, there are injunctions also. I know, because I know one pastime with my Guru Maharaj. One time he was telling Srila Prabhupada that he was spending 4 hours for chanting. And so Prabhupada asked that why you are spending so many hours? Why it is taking so many hours for you to finish your rounds? Then Guru Maharaj told that His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj that actually I'm chanting 32 rounds, Prabhupada. That's why it's taking 4 hours. Then Prabhupada was chastising him, that admonished him that who told you to chant 32 rounds? You chant 16 rounds, and rest of the time you engage in service of Krishna, especially your teaching service or preaching service of Krishna's consciousness. So when you are actually doing the preaching service, this glorification of Krishna, also actually chanting of Krishna's name, may not be the way we do Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that is Sankhya Purvak. But those who are actually engaged in thoughts, in activities of Krishna, all 24 hours, like, Vaisheshika Maharaj is giving a demonstration in the Pujari, that he starts his day by chanting the bunch of mantras from scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures. So those mantras also have Krishna's name in it. And when you are doing different type of chanting, it may not be Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but name is there, and all related paraphernalia, tadiya, everything is also connected to Krishna. So ultimately, it will give you or make you more engaged. So in this regard, another thing I want to add, because you brought this point. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada told that in Kali Yuga, chanting of holy name and Vaishnava Seva, they will be done in parallel. Because without Vaishnava Seva, chanting of holy name will not fructify. Without chanting of holy name, you cannot do proper Vaishnava Seva, because you will be offensive. So they should be gone hand in hand. That's why even when we are actually doing the deity worship or even book distribution, we should actually keep chanting. And I see some devotees, may not be you can't count it in your 16 rounds. When you are cooking, you chant, or you do. I saw devotees actually, they while cooking, they quote name of Krishna, Radharani, doing some kind of forerunner things, cooking activities. So this is also counted. It's not counted. So the main important thing is like how your consciousness is getting purified. Yeah. There is injunctions. Lord Chaitanya told that I don't take prasadam or bhoga in a person who doesn't chant 100,000 names. But yeah, we have also Acharya's instruction also. So Yeah, Srila Prabhupada, you can say that, he may have chanted, true to say, maybe 300,000 names per day, because he used to sleep only 1.5 hours. And rest of the time, he's only doing Krishna consciousness activities. Yeah. I will give another example. I think we have 9 minutes. One time, Jogeshwar Prabhu was quoting that pastime. So one Mayavadi, person, he wrote a book about Krishna, and he wanted to prove that Krishna is also impersonal. He doesn't have, he's just an energy or the supreme. That's the way Mayavadis interpret, Krishna's activities and his instructions in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now Srila Prabhupada was asked to read that, like he requested to read that, and Srila Prabhupada read it. After reading, everyone was expecting a very strong, like kind of chastisement towards that Mayavadi philosopher. But Srila Prabhupada appreciated. He told, like, this person quoted Krishna's name so many times in one page. Can you believe his consciousness soul level? He appreciated the name of Krishna because he chanted name of Krishna. And I was actually recalling when I heard that, and later on I could actually understand that Prakashananda Saraswati and his sannyasi group was so offensive. They could not chant the name of Krishna. They just chanted the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he's more merciful. But they could not chant the name of Krishna. They could not say Sri Krishna Chaitanya because his full name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. They could only say Sri Chaitanya. He is not chanting. So that is another example that you are fortunate if you can chant the name of Krishna, or you can write the name of Krishna. That means there is some blessings upon you, even though you had that Mayavadi conception or something, but some mercy is there upon you. Otherwise, you cannot do it. Yeah, thank you for bringing that topic. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Koladvip Prabhu, this is
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Haribol. Very, very nice topic you chose, because I think that is the the adhar of Krishna consciousness, by cleaning your heart through chanting the holy name, right? Otherwise, nothing will happen. So I was just reminded of this pastime from I think before Ramayana, right? This Valmiki Muni, before he was a very like a hunter, right? He was not.
Dacoit. Yeah.
All kind of dacoit, like all kind of sinful activities he was doing, and then to show compassion, and Narad Muni came like, what are you doing, right? And then there was pastime, right? He asked him, okay, go and ask your family if they're going to take care of you, take your sins, because you are taking care of them. And all the family members said that, no, we are not, you are supposed to support us, but your sins we are not going to take. So he was very dejected for the whole life, I worked for them and they are not, ready to take my sins. So he went back to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni said, okay, your only option at this time to get away from the sins is that you chant the name of Lord Ram. You just say Ram, 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 like that. And he was unable to do so. So then Narad Muni felt very compassionate, said, okay, you chant Mara. That is also fine. And in that process, you will do Ram, Ram, Ram. And he became, the power of holy name is so much. And when it is instructed by a Mahabhagavata, like Narad Muni, that is also important, basically, like who is giving you that mantra, right? Then his heart became so clear that how the Ramayana will happen in future came into his heart. And that is how, he did the Rachana of Ramayana, and Lord Ram made sure that the Ramayana happens that way. Yeah, so it's the power of holy name is really, and when it comes from the Mahabhagavata's mouth, right? And it becomes very powerful.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
can actually think that one thing, Srila Prabhupada's whole movement started from a tree, right? Underneath a tree. Tompkins Square Park. He started chanting.
Yes, yes.
That is the movement. Just pure chanting of a Mahabhagavad devotee purified the heart of the people, because they were offenseless. They were offenseless, and they appreciated him. That was so nice tune. Oh, such a person is, chanting. Of course, Prabhupada was a very effulgent personality as well.
Yeah.
And started there. Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for sharing that Ratnakar pastimes.
Yeah.
Anybody else has anything to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I like the wonderful way you sang in the beginning. Very sweet song, and you sang in a perfect Vaishnav style. I really liked it, and also appropriately picking up Srila Haridas Thakur's pastime. That was very nice. All the different pastimes that you were telling. Uh, that was very wonderful. Thank you, Prabhuji. I felt very inspired by the different pastimes, and especially how you emphasized the holy name of the Lord, taking shelter of that can purify us and actually give us the transformation. And especially when we are mentioning how Haridas Thakur was like transformed Lakshahira. He was listening, and then suddenly transformation happened. I was thinking I also want such transformation. But it definitely tells the way to achieve to hear from the pure devotees. That's very nice actually. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Actually, yeah, I consider you actually you are following the footsteps of previous acharyas very nicely, because you put so much attention in chanting, and you maneuver your day schedule in such a way that you can give most energy to your uh, sadhana towards the holy name, Prabhu. So this is really inspiring. In fact, I should actually follow in your footsteps so that I can also uh, do some service to the holy name. Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for your inspiration. Okay. So if there is, I think we're almost at the end of the class, right? 2 minutes more. If anything and nothing else is there to share. Let's see.
Oh, I just have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
In Srimad Bhagavatam, first chapter, 18th verse, text 48. This is one of the really striking verse actually that kind of shook me at one point. So this verse defines the qualification of a devotee, and definitely Haridas Thakur, the different pastimes that you are mentioning, Gopal Chakravarti and Ramchandra Khan, he consistently displayed this. So this particular verse, 1:18:48, it says, Tirashkrita vipralabdha shapta shipta hata api nashaya tat pratikurvanti tad bhakta prabhavapihi. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. So that means all these things happened, like defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, and they never avenge. So that shows the.
Yeah.
So yeah, Haridas Thakur I think went through all that, but he was so genuinely Vaishnav, and he was always well wisher. Though sometimes I can compare myself that even a small grain falls here to there, no one can be disturbed. Srila Prabhupada also said the greatness of a person has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situation. And no wonder actually how he could chant 3 lakh names a day. And I was really so much impressed that when you mentioned Lakshahira was also chanting 3 lakhs, that was really
Yeah.
very, very wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Even Jagai Madai was
2
chanting
lakhs. Yeah.
2 lakhs, right? 2
Yeah.
lakhs.
Yeah. Madhavananda.
2 lakhs. No less.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is extreme example actually, that somebody who was like worst as a sinner and he became a best as a devotee. This is only in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, sorry, Lord Chaitanya, you will see such kind of extremity, that somebody who was not even eligible to do any uh, uh, petty activities, he's experiencing now pure love of Godhead by his unconditional mercy.
And Haridas Thakur, you mentioned Koti Nam, right? One
Koti Nam, 1 month, yeah.
Bhakti Siddhanta, he chanted 10 Koti or something like that. Right?
Shatakoti, 100 crore.
100 crores.
9 years.
9 years.
Shatakoti Nam, yes.
Thank you for the
This,
very
yeah,
inspiring.
yeah. Yeah, I just want to mention another thing. Thank you, Prabhu. I think our Vaisheshika Prabhuji also mentions in almost every class that all the power of our, uh, shikha, or, teaching to others or connecting others to Krishna, it comes from the chanting of the holy name, the service to holy name. Yeah, we hear, I know, because the 10th often says that, even after hearing so many glories of the holy name, we still keep attachment to our material body and body level conditioning. But true to say, if we actually get a tinge bit of mercy from a pure devotee or really seek it from our core of heart, definitely holy name will manifest his opulences, his activity in our heart. So we should just pray to the Mahabhagavad sincerely. I feel like I don't have that sincerity that I should ask for that kind of mercy from them. I may say externally, but internally I have other attachment. That's why I cannot progress in this in the chanting of the holy name. But at least Lord Chaitanya, by his examples, or his associates by their examples, they showed if somebody seek it very sincerely and ask, like, please purify my all the misgivings and enlighten me, then all the rest of the things will be taken care of by holy name automatically. Definitely we'll get Krishna Prem in this lifetime. Or maybe some more lifetimes. That's not a big issue, but we'll get Krishna Prem. That is the important thing. Okay, thank you everyone for joining and tolerating my talkings. I seek the dust from all of your lotus feet to bless me, so that at least I get some taste in my chanting, and I keep on chanting till the end of this body and next bodies, because that is the only activities which you should do. The chanting of the name of Krishna, that has everything in it, which Krishna cannot give, but Krishna's name can give us, which is pure love of Godhead. So we should actually definitely have firm faith in the lotus feet of, have firm faith in the process of chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, especially, which is given by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So please bless me. And also I ask for forgiveness if I have spoken something which is against the principle of our Acharya's teachings. Please forgive me, because I have a lot of shortcomings. I am, by the mercy of the devotees, I am able to speak here. Honestly, there are many more very qualified devotees are in our congregation who can give you more enlightening realization, about holy name and of course the glories of Namacarya Srila Haridasa Thakura. Thank you for tolerating me. Namacarya Srila Haridasa Thakura ki.
Koladvip Prana Prabhu ki jai.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Parshad Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Vargo ki jai. Jai Shritanath Premanande. Hari Hari. Vancha Kalpatara Vyasya Kripa Sindhu Vacha. Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Anand Gaudi Vaishnav Vrinde ki